It's time for the meeting and we have a quorum. Thank you. Morning. John and your colleagues. Thank you. You are the representatives of the Audit Commission. Now we can invite the officials to come in. Where is my script?
Nicholas,
Nicholas, thank you for coming and welcome to you and your team. I won't introduce you one by one. We are starting a hearing on Chapter 2 of Report number 73. I understand you'd like to make a speech. I know that there are representatives of the Hong Kong Productivity Center here, but I'd like to remind them that whatever they say will not be covered and protected by the Legislative Council Powers and Privileges Ordinance, that is Cap 382. You have to take liability for your remarks made at this meeting. Please let them know of this fact. Let them know that this is the situation. Before we start the hearing on number 73 of the Audit's Report, Chapter 2 on the Hong Kong Productivity Council, I'd like to ask our legal advisor to let us know the role of the Legislative Council here and why we are examining this report today. This is not the first report on Hong Kong PC. The first one was in 2009. I don't know whether, Nicholas, you had taken a look at it. At that time, there were many recommendations that were accepted by the administration and the Hong Kong PC. However, some problems remain outstanding. That is why in Chapter 3 on governance, we will not have to ask Hong Kong PC to explain in detail their issues of governance, because these were mentioned last time. We would write them questions in order to seek follow-up answers. Perhaps at our next meeting, we might invite the chairman to come and we might have some follow-up questions for him. Legal advisor, please let us know more about this issue. I'd like to introduce to you Cap 1116, the Hong Kong Productivity Council Ordinance. It was enacted in 1967. The Hong Kong Productivity Council, or Hong Kong PC, was incorporated under Section 3 of the Ordinance. The Hong Kong PC is a permanent corporation. It can prosecute and be prosecuted. Section 4 of the Ordinance lists the role of the Hong Kong PC to promote the increased productivity of industry in Hong Kong and to encourage the more efficient utilization of resources therein, and also to consider matters affecting productivity of industry in Hong Kong and to advise the CE concerning the productivity of industry in Hong Kong, and also to consult with, coordinate, and assist the activities of persons and organizations either in Hong Kong or elsewhere. And another, which is rather special, is that it can take on productivity-related assignments elsewhere than in Hong Kong, subject to the conditions specified in subsection 2. The first one, the work can be carried out without prejudice to the performance of the functions above, and a minimum rate charged by the council for the work should be sufficient to recover all costs incurred in carrying out that work, which should include direct costs, recurrent and capital, and overhead costs. Under 5, powers of council. The Hong Kong PC has very wide councils, including the normal functions of a council to enter into contracts to acquire, to take on lease purchase, or to dispose of any shares and property. And also, it would, of course, have power to engage staff. Also, it can appoint a chief executive officer and also engage other staff. And under the Hong Kong PC, there will be a council to handle governance matters, and also it can appoint committees from time to time. And it can set up scholarship that can promote productivity, and it can also organize seminars, exhibitions, and charge fees for these. And it can make arrangements with other organizations in order to more effectively discharge the functions of the Hong Kong PC, and also it can commit to items that will promote productivity. It can also set up companies by itself and or together with others in order to further its ends. And then in 5 capital A, it says that the Chief Executive in Council may give directions. But of course, these cannot run counter to the provisions in the Ordinance. The salary scales of the Hong Kong PC have to be approved by the CE. And members include 23 people. The chairman is directly appointed by the CE, and 17 of them would represent the interests of different sectors, and there should not be more than 5 public officials. The functions of the council would be decided at meetings of the council. The quorum will be half of the membership of the council. The decisions have to be made by over half of the people present in a council meeting. The estimates for the council will be approved by the financial secretary every year, and that has to be approved by the CE as well. The Hong Kong PC, at the within 6 months after the end of the financial year, it has to submit a report to the FS, and the CE will table this report for LegCo for scrutiny. This is my introduction. Before I invite the Director of Audit to speak, I'd like to ask members whether you have to make any declarations. Mr. Shu Kafai is not here, but he has declared that he doesn't need to be declaring any interest, but very often he is invited to graduation ceremonies or other ceremonies of the Hong Kong PC. He has made that declaration, and I have accepted it, and I have ruled that it has nothing to do with this chapter. Director, please give us an introduction on Chapter 2. Thank you, Chair. Chairman, I thank you for inviting me to give a brief introduction to Chapter 2 of the Report number 73 of the Director of Audit, and that is provision of consultancy, research, and development and training services by the Hong Kong PC. There are 4 parts to this report. In Part 1, Introduction, we introduce the background to this examination work. The Hong Kong PC was incorporated in 1967 according to the Hong Kong Productivity Council Ordinance, Cap 1116. The purpose was to improve the productivity, operating efficiency, and competitiveness of local industries. The governance structure of the Hong Kong PC is the Council, which is supported by 4 committees. In 2017-18, the total revenue for Hong Kong PC was $711 million, including $2 to $3.3 million government subsidy, and the total expenditure was $3.7 million. Part 2 of the report explores the provision of consultancy and manufacturing support services of the Hong Kong PC. The consultancy projects of Hong Kong PC include the provision of provisional assistance and views for clients. These are consultancy projects and also development projects that develop products and systems for clients. We are aware that between 2014-15 and 2017-18, the KPI of numbers of consultancy projects accepted did not achieve the target. In July 2018, the Hong Kong PC decided that manufacturing support services, which fetched a service fee of over $5,000 and regarded them as consultancy projects, and it was only like that the target was achieved in 2018-19. However, the relevant target had not been amended according to the new definition, nor did the Hong Kong PC inform the Council and the IT Commission about the change of definition. From 2014-15 to 2018-19, the Hong Kong PC completed 788 consultancy projects related to productivity elsewhere than in Hong Kong, of which 308 or 39% had not recovered all costs according to the stipulations of the Ordinance. And in 2018-19, the Hong Kong PC carried out 484 consultancy projects for SME clients with different fee concession rates, but then there were no documents telling the reasons why. From 2014-15 to 2018-19, the Hong Kong PC completed 4,299 consultancy projects, out of which 1,243 or 29% were delayed. 1,078 or 25% did not recover all costs according to the requirements. As for manufacturing support services, we found that some workshop services were not billed, and the relevant amounts were used to sponsor IT fund projects so that the projects were in line with the requirement of the minimum sponsorship rate. In October 2017, the Hong Kong PC set up InnoSpace to provide manufacturing support services to clients who did not take part in those projects, including developing prototypes and machinery. We found that in 2018-19, the revenue of InnoSpace was 40% lower than target, and among the 10 items of equipment studied, the average booking days were only 26. The third part of the report explores into research and development projects of Hong Kong PC. The number of ongoing research projects is an important KPI for the Hong Kong PC to manage R&D projects. We are of the view that using this as a KPI might inadvertently encourage the project teams to drag their feet. And then from 2014-15 to 2018-19, out of 106 R&D projects supported by the IT Fund, 37 of them were submitted beyond the scheduled date. If the Hong Kong PC is of the view that their developed products or technology could be used widely for business, they would apply for patent for such products and technology in order to commercialize them, and all that can be transferred to the industry. Until the 31st of August 2019, the Hong Kong PC owned 123 patents, but only 4 brought about revenue in terms of licenses and royalties to the tune of $1.5 million. Part 4 of the report, provision of training programs of the Hong Kong PC. The Hong Kong PC conducts public training courses that can be subscribed to by the public, and also corporate training courses for companies and organizations. From 2014-15 to 2016-17, the revenue from public training courses only reached 47% to 65% of the target. And in the 20 courses that were studied, 12 of them were under-enrolled. All the training venues of the Hong Kong PC are situated within the Hong Kong PC building in Kowloon Tong. Apart from using them for training courses conducted by the Hong Kong PC, these can also be hired by other organizations, including the government, private companies, and NGOs. In 2017-18 and 2018-19, the utilization rate of such venues remained rather low, and they were 17% and 16% respectively. In view of such audit results, we have made recommendations to the Hong Kong PC to make improvements. Also, with regard to the sponsorship issue that I mentioned, and that is that some workshop services were not billed, and the relevant amount were used to sponsor IT fund projects. We have proposed to the IT Commission to take appropriate follow-up action. Our views and recommendations have been agreed to by the Hong Kong PC and the IT Commission. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank the relevant personnel at Hong Kong PC and the IT Commission, thanking them for their full cooperation during the audit period and providing proactive assistance and response. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much. I'd like to invite the Secretary for Innovation and Technology. Chairman, thank you. Chairman, I'm grateful to the Director of Audit for compiling 2 comprehensive reports on the Hong Kong Productivity Council regarding the governance and operation. The recommendations in the reports would be instrumental to helping the HKPC to improve the corporate governance, the finance, and human resources management, as well as consultancy and training services, and also a commercialization of R&D products. These will help the sector to achieve better results. The administration and HKPC agree with the recommendations of the 2 reports. The HKPC was set up in 1967 as a statutory body. Its public mission is to provide support services to the industrial sectors and help them to achieve better productivity and to utilize the resources in a better manner and achieve enhance the value of their products and services in order to achieve better competitiveness. Over the past 50 years, the Hong Kong's economic production and our economy has undergone transformation, and the HKPC has been moving on with times and help the SMEs to tackle the market changes and challenges. In order to inject more vitality into the Hong Kong economy, the government has taken forward reindustrialization and also the development of innovation and technology. The HKPC has played a significant role. Since 2016, the HKPC has launched measures to enhance the industrial sector's awareness of Industry 4.0. And they have introduced the upgrade and accreditation scheme to help the sector to tie in with the Industry 4.0. The government has been providing subvention and grants to the HKPC, and the subvention is to the tune of 1/3 of their expenditure. The rest of the expenditure would be made up from the fees collected from the market. According to the Director Audit report, the HKPC may not be able to achieve full recovery on every project. However, its finance remains robust, and it is able to fulfill the public mission. We understand that the public are concerned about the HKPC as a subvented organization and the way it is using public dollars and how they can achieve their public mission. The HKPC has implemented a large number of recommendations, and they will be following up on the remainder of the recommendation. We'll monitor the situation to make sure that the HKPC will fulfill its public mission. The administration and the HKPC will be only too delighted to answer members' questions later on. I'd like to invite Mr. Mohammed Butt, Executive Director of Hong Kong PC. Chairman, members, on behalf of the HKPC, I'd like to express my thanks to the Director of Audit for making all these recommendations. The HKPC is a public body serving the industrial and business sector. We do have a public mission. We harness some technology to support different sectors, in particular the SME and startups, as well as public sector and government departments. We are providing multi-sector and diversified R&D services, covering a wide variety of applied R&D and innovation and technology projects. Innovation and R&D represent a very good opportunity for the industry, and they are full of challenges. The HKPC plays the role of R&D. We do have many years of experience behind us, and we do possess technology and help the market in the area of sophisticated technology. We are helping the industry to take on more risky applied R&D projects, and we also have pilot schemes to help the development of the market. From inception of ideas to applied R&D to prototypes, testing, training, and commercialization, the HKPC does have a specialized team to address all the pain points. And we do provide bespoke programs to help the clients to achieve better operational efficiency. We also support the sustainable development of different sectors and help the industries to be aligned with the international standard in order to enhance our competitive edge. We have introduced the German Industry 4.0 concept into Hong Kong, and we've localized the technology and concepts. We do have a dedicated team with full accreditation to promote and execute the Industry 4.0 projects in order that the industry can upgrade and transform themselves to have greater competitive edge locally and in the overseas market. It is the objective of the HKPC to achieve optimal project management. We have introduced new mechanisms to enhance management, not least in the area of finance and timing, in order that we will be able to have to achieve fiscal balance and timely delivery. Should there be any difficulties or any overspending, the project manager will have to notify the management as a matter of priority in order to identify solutions. We do abide by this principle in serving the sectors. Some projects may not enable us to achieve full recovery, but they will benefit the industrial sector, and they will take forward the R&D and the development of the industry. We agree that we will devote our resources to complete all these projects. The PC's consultancy and R&D performance has seen improvements since new measures have been introduced in July 2018. Take consultancy, for instance. Over the past 5 years, the delay has come down from 30% to less than 10%. The management will continue with their efforts to achieve better results. We do attach a lot of importance to the commercialization of our R&D findings. We are minded to help different sectors, in particular SMEs and startups, to engage in R&D in different technologies. In terms of training, training means a great deal to human resources development in Hong Kong, particularly the manpower in the area of innovation and technology and management. So we have introduced a more systematic market research process with a view to organizing more courses and programs that are more in line with the market and contribute our efforts to the nurturing of talents in Hong Kong. Through the efforts of the management team, the training receipt has increased by 40%. The Director of Audit has covered a broad spectrum of the HKPC according to for the 64 recommendations made by the Director of Audit, we have completed close to 75%. We will seek to complete all the rest of the recommendations. The HKPC welcomes supervision and monitoring of our work, and we're also grateful to the support given to us by the IT Bureau. This report will be driving us to do better, and there is certainly room for certain improvement. I'm grateful for the monitoring and concerns expressed by different sectors of the community. We will not disappoint anybody. We will certainly take on board all the further recommendations made by members.
Thank you, Mr. Butt. Mr. Kenneth Leung, the Deputy Chairman, will take charge of this hearing on Chapter 2 of Report number 73. Mr. Leung, over to you. Yes, thank you. I'd like to thank you for finding the time to attend this hearing. I'd like to make a declaration as well. On the 24th of July this year, together with some accountant friends, we organized a team to go and visit the Hong Kong PC. We went to take a look at your facilities, and I had a conversation with Mr. Butt. So I have some recollection of what I saw at Hong Kong PC. First, with regard to Mr. Butt's speech, I'd like to seek some papers so that we can get prepared. Mr. Butt said that with regard to the 64 recommendations of the audit, 75% have been implemented. After this meeting, can you give me a list of what has been accomplished and what is outstanding? Can you tabulate those to assist us in our writing of the report so we can recognize your effort and so members know what you have accomplished? We will write our report based on the audit report and, of course, the evidence collected at this hearing and also the evidence to be supplied by you. I thank you for that information. Secretary, can I defer to the PS? We'll do that. Thank you. Chairman, I'd like to make this request. If they'd like to use English to answer questions.
And I'm quite happy to ask questions in English, and then you can respond likewise. Now, Mr. Chairman, I think I would like to just pose a few general questions first before going into part two. I don't have a lot of general questions, but for the benefit of the audience here, I would like to ask the officers to turn to page 12 of the report. Page 12. English version. I beg your pardon, sorry. The Honorable Tanya Chan is English version, page 12 of the report. And this is actually a figure 2, which headed up as analysis of total expenditure of the council for the year 2017 to 2018. Okay, if you look at the pie chart itself, the staff emoluments comprises about 51% of the total expenditure. Can I just ask the number of staff employed by the council, and can you roughly give us the structure of the council, please? How many members of the management team and then the rank and file officers, please?
Secretary.
我想請司
Can I defer to the CEO?
我哋有個編制麻
We have the establishment. Please give me some time.
Mr. Yang is 到時先啦。我中意啊。
Page 12, Mr. Butt. Page 12. On the staff evolution, evolution, the emoluments.
我哋嘅編制咧總共
Our establishment at Hong Kong PC stands at 682. At the end of September, we had a strength of 574. 574. Please use the microphone in front of you. Everything has to be recorded. Sorry about that. So a strength of 574. We have a staff strength. So 342 million for staff emoluments. May I know the division of grades? How many belong to the management, for example?
我自己本身係一個啦，同埋我有2位
I am the only one, CEO. I have 2 executive directors. And then below me, we have 7 GMs. So 10 people in the management level. In the Hong Kong PC Ordinance, it states that the Council of Hong Kong PC are appointed by the CE, that is Section 10 of Cap 1116. That is the structure. But I'd like to ask about day-to-day running.
Day running 其實係咪就
Is it that is to be handled by Mr. Butt and your 9 staff members in the management grade? Sorry, Secretary, is it that you'd like to say something? Can I ask the PAS to say something, because this is about management of Hong Kong PC? Chairman, that is correct. There is a council and a few committees. The day-to-day running is the responsibility of the CEO and his management team. Like in the last audit report, which recommended that with regard to their strategy and major management decisions, those must all go to the council for approval or approval by the committees. Are the people at the council remunerated? No. Well, the CE is saying that she would offer public office to candidates who lost in the DC election. Would that include the Hong Kong PC? No. There are over 20 people at the Council of Hong Kong PC. Apart from public officials, some are nominated by different chambers of commerce or trade unions. Some attend in their individual capacity. None of them are remunerated. they provide pro bono service to the council. So I'll continue. Let's go back to figure 2. I still have another general question about depreciation and amortization, $40.8 million. Well, I let you to confirm my assumption. I believe this has to do with plant and machinery, right? You don't have to pay rental for your building, right? You don't have to pay any land cost for your Hong Kong PC building, is that correct? Who will take the question? PAS or Chairman, I'd like to defer to the CEO. Let me say something about the building. According to the land lease of 1988, the government allowed the Hong Kong PC to use the land until the 31st of June 2047. In other words, we have the right to use it until the 30th of June 2047. What about depreciation? Can I defer to my CFO? Please. Well, yes. We amortize the cost of the building over 50 years. That is why there is depreciation. Out of 40.8 million, apart from the building, we also included other fixed assets like machinery, software, and renovation. Kenneth, thank you. The government has responded to these recommendations, and these have been submitted to the PAC. We wrote to the administration on the 3rd of December, and there are replies. Let us go to Gen 1. I'd like to refer you. Now I'm reading the English version, page 3. Government's subvention to the HKPC. My question is, I'd like to know whether you have the same financial year end date with the government, or do you have another one? Secretary, the same. PS, we have the same financial year end date. Can I refer to your reply, part 2, or second paragraph? Page 3. Kenneth, can we please halt? Let us go to vote in another room. Sorry about that. The Finance Committee is taking a vote. Please give us 5 minutes.
Hey.